What's a deal breaker when it comes to dating? They don't initiate anything such as dates or intimacy. For sure, they make you feel like you're just ordering an employee around, but you're not the boss always. Spot on. Problem is that they are people pleasers and you really feel sorry for them, which makes it twice as hard to end the things. My wife. R. Gatekeeping S. Not brushing your teeth, poor dental hygiene on a regular basis. There was a guy I had been dating for a few weeks, maybe a month. One day we go out together, and I spend the night with him for the first time. I brought a change of clothes and my essentials including toothbrush. I realized I forgot my toothpaste, and couldn't find toothpaste in the immediate vicinity of this man's bathroom sink, and I did not want to go snooping around his stuff. At that point I asked him, "Hey, do you have any toothpaste I can use?" No joke, it takes him at least 5 minutes to find toothpaste. He had to go into another room, and it was a sample bottle like you get from the dentist after a visit, and you could clearly see it had never been used, opened. If you just ran out of toothpaste, fine. Just say that, but I don't think this man brushed his teeth, and it was pretty clear by his reaction that he does not brush his teeth on a regular basis. You didn't smell his bad breath before you started dating him? We hung out like maybe 3 to 4x in that period, and we always went out to eat during that time, so I honestly just tried to give the benefit of the doubt and thought it might have been that. I don't know if dating is the right term, lol, maybe pre-dating. We were going on dates. Greater than we were going on dates, yep, dating. Elmau, this made me laugh. Thanks for helping me get to the bottom of this. Someone who doesn't believe in anything. No passions, no interests, no stances on issues, just molding themselves to whatever they think I want to hear. That's a person who A will be codependent because they've not developed a sense of self and will rely on me for all mental stimulation. Or B, a person who's secretly got shitty views or toxic habits and is concealing them to try and get me invested. Hard pass. Edit. Wow, this pissed off a very specific crowd. If you are shy or reserved, this is not about you. If you keep certain things back for when you're serious, this is also not about you. Stop acting like hit dogs. No one is talking about a normal amount of caution. This is a person who actually cannot express interest or belief or disbelief or anything in polite small talk. They don't have anything they do to tell you about, they can't express any likes or dislikes, they're not even all that interested in anything you say. Like, phew, I'm an incredibly shy person out dating, calm down guys, I fully get it and this is not about us. Option B is the scary one. Another big one for me, anyone who makes a social identity their entire personality. I am happy for anyone whatever ethnicity, sex, orientation, etc. they are. But if being that is your entire personality, that's a hard pass for me. Head games. If you still want to do that in your 20s or 30s, you are not mentally old enough to be with me. I think you mean mind games. Head game is quite important. Literally what I was thinking. Flat earther. Flat earther gets flat girlfriend. So you're saying I need to become a flat earther to date my type? Big boobs fill a man's hands, but small boobs fill a man's heart. A young guy visits a wise old man. He asks the man, which are better, small boobs or big boobs? The man replies, how much money is in your wallet? The youngster takes his wallet and takes out a single bill. $20, he replies. If I ask you to give me $20 in coins, which would be more voluminous, the coins or the bill? The coins, the young man replied. Yes, but which would be the most valuable? The young man was enlightened. Using their mental illness as part of their identity. No attempt to truly address it and leverage their illness to guilt others. My ex broke it off with me, citing her eating disorder and needing to deal with it as the reason why she couldn't be in a relationship. Turns out she was talking to at least 2 other guys, one which she openly tweeted about getting dumped to by weeks later. You sure she didn't say cheating disorder? Being clearly unable to have time to develop a relationship. We all have jobs, hobbies and a social life. If you can't administrate your time to make an effort into getting involved with me, I will walk out of your life really quickly. Update. Well, this is blowing up and I really don't know why. When I wrote it I just thought this was just normal thinking. I don't know if it's just me, but I have been meeting way too many people with avoidant attachment style through Tinder. If you're scared of developing a relationship, even a casual one, why are you out there dating? Greater than if you're scared of developing a relationship, even a casual one, why are you out there dating? From an experience I had with a woman in the last week, I'm going to guess it's a mix of overwhelming loneliness fighting with all the reasons they can't, shouldn't date, and the loneliness winning out. It can also happen with serious trauma, PTSD. My last partner gave me bad emotional and sexual trauma, and every 6 months or so I'm like, maybe it's time to open the dating door? Because a nice reprieve from all the bad feelings I'm constantly battling sounds quite nice. And because I really do miss hugs and kisses and sex and just being held, and I'm touch starved, and I want to have affection and love in my life, so I'll slowly open that door and then something little happens and it's like, oh fuck shit, I gotta leave, close the door, close it now, let me out. It's hard to know if you're really ready until you're already dipping a toe in skeptical smiley face. I don't say this to excuse myself, or others, by the way. Because I think I've definitely hurt some people's feelings and wasted some people's time being this way. And I acknowledge that's wrong and that there isn't an excuse for that. But I also know I was normal before my ex. He gave me that trauma and now it's on me to carry it and reap those consequences, and that sucks, because I didn't ask for it, or deserve it, or even have any power over it. And it sucks that even after all this time, he's still taking from me. So, yes, sometimes I do try to get back into it, and yes, I am often unsuccessful, and yes I am sorry, but no I will not stop trying because that is not and never will be an option, because if I stop, he wins. It's really hard to practice being in a relationship again without being in a relationship, and I do have to practice, I have to relearn relationships. Some things I really can't heal until I'm in a relationship. Like, I can't practice having sex without being triggered. The person who's going to have to deal with that is me and whoever I'm having sex with. It sucks for the men I try to heal with, and it sucks for me, but my other option is to simply just succumb and not allow myself to experience things I feel I should be entitled to have the chance to experience as a human, like intimacy and affection in a relationship, all because my past trauma might rear its ugly head. I will always appreciate and be grateful to the men who have helped me heal. I wasn't toxic to them. I just wasn't ready for them. That's a key thing to consider. My toxicity is limited to things like picking the cheapest menu items if I'm taken out on a date, regardless of if I like those items, because I feel extremely guilty letting anyone do nice things for me. Or having a panic attack if he gets me flowers. Or trying to have sex and having a hysterical meltdown and not knowing where I am or who I'm with. Or, after a long day of feeling triggers out in public and working really hard to hold back the floodgates of emotion, coming home and absolutely snapping because I'm like a bottle of Coke that's been shook the whole day and suddenly I'm home and the cap flies off. Or making a little mistake, like dropping his plate on the ground and breaking it, and being so afraid of the consequences of that mistake that I race into his bathroom and slam and lock the door shut and refuse to come out for an hour. Or not being able to handle a trigger in public and literally fleeing the scene. Or wanting to dip the moment he makes a mistake because I'm so afraid of history repeating itself and I don't trust myself to know who means me harm and who doesn't. These things are all things that are my responsibility to manage. But it's really hard sometimes. Trauma changed my brain. Literally I've had brain scans that literally show how the PTSD has affected my brain, physically. I'm still learning how to move through life with this new brain that I didn't ask for that doesn't always work very well. I'm just still learning. All I can do is try my best and hardest. The date being obsessed with themselves are continually talking about their ex-partners. To add to this, all their exes were terrible pieces of shit. That's always been a huge red flag for me. Either you suck at picking partners, have terrible judgment, also forcing my overthinking ass to question if I, too, am a terrible piece of shit, or you, being the common denominator, are the one that's terrible. Her wanting me to take off my Spider-Man mask during sex. Her wanting me to get rid of my Spider-Man bedsheets. Or Spider-Man undies. When you notice that they want to change you into ways they like more, subtle hints at start but progressively they get more ballsy. I dated a guy who saw me as a lump of clay he could mold to his liking. I told him repeatedly that I was uninterested in attending grad school despite getting great fellowships because I got the job I thought I needed graduate school for. He sat me down and told me he could leverage some of his connections to get me into a good program. I told him absolutely not and that I didn't need his help, that I had gotten into good programs, and he ignored me and just kept on with his pitch. I broke things off directly after this and he vetoed and said he didn't agree so we were still together. Blocked him fully. I don't think you can just veto someone breaking up with you. What a fuck. This got me too. Imagine if he got fired from his job and was like, nope I don't agree, I still work here. He'd be a real George Costanza. Having to constantly message and call because they want to be a part of your life every second. Even while working. Oh god. Also very important to communicate expectations and boundaries on communication. People communicate differently, and these differences can and usually will cause issues if they themselves aren't communicated clearly. For example, one person's default might be to throw messages into the void with expectation. Conversation happens once both people, or more, are available and responding at the same time. Someone else's default might be to check and respond to messages ASAP. It can quickly become an issue if this difference isn't communicated. Totally. I had this situation in a previous relationship. Once, she sent me a message after I was asleep, and I woke up to see it. I thought it was super sweet, and started doing the same for her so maybe she would continue, so I'd send her little cute or funny memes or pictures once in a while so she'd wake up in the morning and see that I was thinking of her. Months later, she says to me during an argument, I need space. You're constantly messaging me. Before I wake up, it's already started. I was kinda crushed by that because I thought I was following her lead and doing something nice because I really liked it, but she actually found it really annoying. I was like, why didn't she say something? My partner now and I have definitely had that conversation, and a lot of others like it, because it's an introvert-extrovert situation, and this shit is not straightforward. Being a dick. Common symptoms include being rude to people in the service industry, ridiculous levels of self-importance, lack of compassion, etc. Don't be a dick. Bluetooth earpiece. I used to wear one as my job involved driving a lot. However, whenever I would talk with someone I would instantly pull it off. Yes, it was handy to have, but damn if I didn't always feel like a D-bat out in public. Me paying for everything, all the time. For the train wreck I encountered last week. If a man isn't paying, he doesn't respect you. She also complained about people wanting too little and too much sex being a problem in modern dating, but would not clarify with numerical examples. You were just supposed to know if you were being not sexual enough or too sexual. So she brings nothing to the table. Not even logic. Or a half-working brain. Yikes. As a young woman that has dipped her toes into dating, the deal breaker for me is someone who has just come out of a long committed relationship and is out dating without giving themselves a proper healing stage. I loved my crazy, I'm going to go on 4 dates a week, healing stage, and a woman I met 2 months into it became my wife last month. Maybe I'm a unique case. History of suicide attempts. Never again will I deal with that because I most definitely have PTSD from my previous girlfriend trying to kill herself 3 times in our relationship, and I am unwilling to deal with such a thing again. As someone who is severely mentally ill, I second this. I have my own mind to keep sane. I've only had relationships built off of trauma bonding, and I wish to break away from that. I want to become healthier, and I'm afraid dating more mentally ill folks will trigger a relapse. A bad temper. What the fuck are you talking about? As someone who doesn't want children, dating someone who does is a deal breaker. Suffered a couple broken hearts over having to make this decision. This is so important. And, to add, believe someone when they say they don't want kids. Don't take it to mean that they don't want them right now, or anytime soon. If they firmly don't want children, that's not likely to change. And even if it does change, down the line, that's gotta be their decision 100%, and you can't expect it. Old body odor stank. I never smell, so I don't wear deodorant, smells like onions. People need to realize that just because you don't smell it doesn't mean other people don't smell it. It's the same shit a smoker thinks. Narcissism. Most people who haven't met a real narcissist won't understand how toxic your life will become once the trauma bond settles in.